introduction. Say for example you want to represent your grades, the grades that you've gotten in a course, and say all courses have 2 quizzes and 2 midterms, for example, or 2 quizzes, 1 midterm and 1 final. That would be represented by an array of 4 elements. 1 for the first quiz, 1 for the second quiz, 1 for the midterm, and 1 for the final, right? So that would be, for example, representation. So any course that you take, so for example English or whatever, you can declare it as a double array with the grades, right? So say you got a 3.5 and then you got a 4.0 in the second quiz, then in the midterm you got a 3.7, and then your final, due to weights and everything, says for example 3.7 as well. Now you'll have to do the same thing, say for math, which you have a 3.4, 3.8, 4.0, and a 3.6. And then, say for example, another class that you're taking, so we have English, math, science, some science class. You have a really bad grade and then really good grades after that, and a decent average. Alright, so that's how you would represent the array. So double array A equals an array of all my grades, and I just need to know what the positions represent. Now, the question then comes in is this one. Oops. The grade on your second quiz for your third course is this one, right? So this is my third course, and this would be the second quiz, right? That's the grade for my second quiz on my third course, and that would be represented by C1. Now that's easy enough. Now the thing is that for every class that I have, I'll have to create another array of numbers, of grades. So the problem comes in is, well, what if I want to say I want to get my grade point average of all of these, final scores? How can I iterate over A, B, and C, adding these things up and then dividing them by 3 in this case, right? That's not easy, because the more arrays you create, you'll have to go and change your code to get one more array, one more element of the array. For every class that you take, say you're taking 5 classes next time, well, you're going to have 2 more of these arrays, so your code to compute the average, for example, will have to change to accommodate for those extra 2 courses. That's okay. What I'm going to show you now is a better way of handling a similar problem, and it's called two-dimensional arrays. Two-dimensional arrays work as grids. So this whole thing, this whole set of 3 arrays can be put into a grid, which would be a two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional arrays work like this. You declare a double and then 2 square braces, one for the columns, one for the rows, that's what they will represent, and GR for grades, and then you put your grades here. I don't remember what they were, but I'm just going to try and make them up. 3.7, 3.8, 3.7, 4.0 for math, 3.8, 5, 3.2, 3.6, and then for science 2.5, 3.5, 3.7, and say a 3.4. Okay, so now I've put my grades here in a grid. I'll show you how to put the grades, how to fill out this grid. So in order to put all these elements here, I have to be able to refer to each one of these elements, right? Just like I did here with C1 being a reference to the second grade of my C array, I'll have to somehow tell the computer that this 3.5 is in this position. So for example, the grade on my second quiz of my third course, which is this one, right, would now be GR, and this is how I refer it to. First, which row is it in, starting from 0? 0, 1, 2 is in the second row. And then in which column, starting from 0? 0, 1, it's on the first column. Okay. Now is the next question, how now you actually can iterate over the courses. And it's very simple. You can create a for loop that goes from 0 to the number of rows, another for loop that goes from 0 to the number of columns, and use that to iterate, and we'll see how to do that. Stay tuned. The next slide is about code. The next videos, I'm sorry.